In a high-stakes diplomatic mission, as Secretary of State Antony Blinken landed in Saudi Arabia on Monday, plunging into the midst of escalating tensions between his forces and Iranian-backed proxy groups in the region. Blinken's visit carries a nuanced message. Even as the United States intensifies strikes on militias in Syria and Iraq, it is simultaneously advocating for a de-escalation with the Iranian-aligned groups. A senior State Department official, speaking on Blinken's behalf, emphasized that the U.S. does not want to see the conflict escalated and is committed to avoiding further escalation. The recent wave of U.S. strikes on militia targets was framed as a proportional response to the Jan. 28 killing of 3 U.S. service members in Jordan. The official maintained that these actions were not viewed as an escalation but rather a fulfillment of the promised response to American casualties. Notably, the U.S. has refrained from striking targets within Iran, despite some calls from Republicans in Congress. Such a move could potentially invite more audacious attacks on U.S. personnel in the region. Simultaneously, the situation extends beyond the immediate conflict, intertwining with events in Yemen and the Israel-Gaza conflict. The Houthis, an Iran-aligned group in Yemen, have declared their intent to target commercial vessels and U.S. assets until a ceasefire is reached in Gaza. Recognizing the interconnectedness of these crises, Blinken is actively working towards a potential hostage deal between Hamas and Israel, aiming for a cessation of hostilities that could evolve into a lasting peace. The U.S. official noted that the trip's next stops in Egypt, Qatar, and Israel are crucial, emphasizing the complexity of achieving a breakthrough. Hamas's response to a proposed framework agreement, developed in Paris among U.S., Egyptian, and Israeli intelligence chiefs in coordination with Qatar, remains pending. The proposal involves a 6-week cessation of hostilities in exchange for a phased release of hostages. However, Hamas insists on a permanent ceasefire, a condition rejected by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. This diplomatic tightrope walk is Blinken's 5th visit to the Middle East since the Gaza war erupted. Amid discussions of a potential humanitarian pause, Blinken envisions a comprehensive post-war plan involving Arab and Israeli officials, a unified Palestinian-led governing body, and reconstruction efforts supported by Gulf states. However, challenges loom large, with the Israeli military expected to expand its campaign in Rafah, a city hosting over 1 million displaced Palestinians. The Biden administration, despite facing calls to condition military assistance to Israel, opts for direct engagement to influence Israeli actions. As Blinken navigates this intricate diplomatic web, the region holds its breath, uncertain about the future trajectory of these delicate negotiations. The complexities of geopolitics demand swift and astute decision-making, and the stakes are higher than ever in the quest for lasting peace in the Middle East.